In today's video, we are going to talk about something that I think many of us found themselves in, be it in relationship or family dynamics. But it's that moment when you look back and you realize every freaking time you sacrificed yourself so someone else can be good, not only were you acting against yourself, but the people that you did it for don't even acknowledge it. No, it's not that they don't acknowledge it. Now you're the problem. Bis. And you know what's even more fucked up in this whole situation? That you did become a little toxic. I know, it's effed up. For those of you who don't know, this is my second video on the Netflix show Sirens, and it's basically a show about 3 women showing how they are having their own ways of survival based on what they learned and what they experienced, and how each of these strategies, be it in the case of Simone, escape and reinvention, in the case of Devon, sacrifice and caregiving, or Michaela, all about control and status, might seem to feel the right way. But when the system is set up against you from the get-go, what kind of choice do you even have? So in today's video, we are gonna dive deep into the character Devon.
Simone, I just traveled 17 hours to see you.
The one who had to be the responsible one, had to be the strong one. But what she got out of it was not, some kind of sense of reward, some kind of sense of the light at the end of the tunnel. That's what they say, right? Sacrifice, and one day it will be repaid. No. For Devon, not only did her life just continue to be a shit show, but she herself kind of started to be a shit show.
I am the only person who has always had your
back. And here's the thing. It's not about Devon is bad or Devon is good. It's about how experiences F us up sometimes, okay? And how certain beliefs are formed and drive us in directions that are not maybe the best. And in Devon's case, what happens when you are forced to be the strong one, the responsible one, the selfless one? And that breaks you. Bis. Now you know how we do it. We narrate, we analyze. We often judge. And we do believe that we know better and would do better. Okay. Hopefully. So we meet Devon. And she is just walking out of her one-night stand in jail. She just got her second DIY, and it is clear that Devon be struggling. She's in her 30s. She still lives in the town she grew up in. She still lives with her dad, who is now diagnosed with early onset dementia. She works at a fast food place owned by her, I guess, high school boyfriend / now married guy who cheats with Devon. And yes, we are judging. But overall, the vibe, the vibe is a mess.
For the first time,
Dad.
Now, Devon is us, kinda. There are a little details, maybe they're not really relatable. Addiction, or replacing one addiction for the other.
Can't smoke out here, miss.
I gotta put something in my mouth.
But overall, she is the most relatable. Because she's poor, and we get that. But also, she is a perfect example of someone who always put other people first and kind of forgot about herself. The loyal one. The good one. And yes, Mary, that includes all of your relationships where you were maybe prioritizing someone else a little bit too much. And one day you stop, you look around and you're like, what in the... Don't worry, there's plenty of us like that. To Devon, though, the role of being the responsible one was assigned pretty early on. Her mom was suffering from depression. Her dad, instead of helping with that, would help the local pub and their business. And things were not going well, nor for Devon or her little sister. But it became even worse. One day, when Devon was only 12 years old, she found her mom and Simone in a car where it was clear that her mom was trying to exit. And while her mom didn't make it, Devon pulled out Simone just in time to save her life. After that, things got even worse because their dad, instead of stepping up and taking care of his children, he himself became clinically depressed, and alcohol, well, it did not help. So Devon was kind of forced to take on the role of being the adult to make money, provide food, and pay the bills. For Devon, it is clear. When shit hits the fan, when crisis strike, she is standing alone. But it did seem that brighter days were maybe ahead. She finally got to go to college, loosen up a bit, live the life as any teenager, at least pretend to do so, partying, having fun, thinking only about themselves. It was her way of letting go of all the struggle. But the problem was that as much as Devon might have felt that she's out of it, at home, shit really hit the fan. Because her dad, well, do you think he stepped up now? Do you think that he maybe took care at least for that one child that is left at home? Simone ended up in foster care because of how neglected she was. She wouldn't eat for days. She had no choice but to drop out of college, go back home, fight for custody to get Simone back, and stay at home. Sacrifice her future so her little sister can even survive. I mean, she saved her once, and she'll do it again. She'll do it as many times as needed. So we can say that Devon developed a couple of beliefs that probably followed her through her life and then became a little bit problematic. The first thing is that if she doesn't step up, people die. Point blank. She literally saved Simone from dying. Then she kind of saved herself, Simone, and dad. Then saved Simone again. Like, it is difficult to not develop any other belief than if I do not stay, people will die. Which brings me to the next belief. The girlie just got a chance to finally have some sense of, let's say, childhood, right? Being a teenager. And what happens? Her little sister almost dies again. Like, how the F is she supposed to believe that, oh, I need to take care of myself, when the one time she did, another person almost died? And from that, basically, it's very easy to then develop a belief that I am only good if I sacrifice myself. And if I reference a little bit to Simone and the analysis we did there, while Simone formed this, if I put myself first, then good things will happen. For Devon, it's the opposite. If I put myself first, then bad things happen. And this is how then these two characters with these two beliefs are going into life and thinking they're doing good, but kind of like, woo. The thing is, though, Devon cannot do it anymore. She is desperate for help. But no matter how many times she texts Sirens, the SOS code, to her sister, nothing.
Hi, you've reached Simone. I can't get to the phone right now.
Until one day, it seems that her little sister finally decided to grace Devon with some acknowledgement. An edible freaking arrangement. With the think positive note. Yay!
Oh, Simone.
Devon cannot freaking believe it. This is how Simone replies. With a freaking fruit basket and positive thinking, bis. Devon is trying to keep it together because how freaking ungrateful and selfish can Simone be?
Don't talk about your sister like that. She was nice to send this.
Devon is sick of being the only one responsible, while other people, aka her sister, are living the beach vibes life. Oh yeah. She sees all the little pics Simone is posting about her amazing life at the Cliff House. Enough is freaking enough. If Simone doesn't want to come, Devon will just go find Simone and get her ass back home. Now, it's not that easy to get to Simone. She is in the land far, far away. And it does not help that Devon is carrying the freaking probably 10 plus kilo edible arrangement with her. She is traveling for 17 hours to get to Simone. And honestly, she's here for it. The rage is doing the lifting. Clearly, Devon is reacting how we would probably react. What do you mean I give up my life for you? What do you mean I'm not even asking you really for help? I'm asking you for help for our dad who is sick and you ignore me? No. That's the thing. You don't ignore me. It's like saying, sweetie, you don't need help. Just manifest. Wink. I was watching the show and I was side-eyeing Simone like, this? No. No. The way Simone responds is basically invalidating Devon, invalidating her struggle, her fear of being someone who doesn't matter or people don't care about is being triggered right now. And this journey, which is, 17 hours, ferry, bus, even walking, and in particular, carrying the edible arrangement, it's almost like this is the weight of Simone's dismissal that she is carrying. Now, saying that, there is also an interesting look into the decision to do that. Would we actually carry a freaking 10-kilo basket with us to make a point to someone? And no, I'm not gonna suffer the double. So the fact that Devon is choosing to carry this edible arrangement, this is where her worth lies, right? If she is struggling, then she is worthy. And it might sound very familiar because this is exactly what society values. Hard work, sacrifice, struggles. I work so hard is the ultimate proof of how good you are. I mean, just look at your job in corporate. You have people who run around pretending they're working hard and it gets on your nerves, but everyone looks at them and be like, wow, such a hard worker, right? It is something that is very common in maybe lower parts of society, while upper parts, it's more about comfort. It's more about time. I don't see Jeff Bezos flexing with how hard he works. He flexed with freaking renting Venice for his wedding. And just to be clear, people, I myself am coming from a working class, a lower working class. And I know all about working hard and the importance of working hard. But Biz, sometimes I'm looking around and I'm like, am I the dum-dum here? Am I stupid? Something is fishy. Devon learned, like many of us, that struggle is virtue, right? So subconsciously, she chooses the hardest path possible. While she is almost priding herself of doing this journey, carrying this, and this anger is pushing her, and almost this justice is pushing her to do that. The reality is, if she wasn't so, blinded by all of this, she could just leave the basket. Like she could let it aside and have a normal journey. But that's the belief she has. If I struggle, then I'm worthy. So that's why she makes her life even more difficult. And even when I'm saying that, I am thinking I should reevaluate some of my things. But finally, she manages to get to the Cliff House and these people be rich. Okay, what is this royalty mansion going on here? So Devon is waiting on the doorstep of Cliff House for Simone to appear, and she is not just, casually scrolling on the phone. No. She is laser focused, like she's gonna murder the first person that appears. And finally, Simone is approaching the Cliff House and she is not happy herself. But Devon doesn't even have the time to say, hey, how ya doing? No, she starts throwing fruit at Simone and calling her names. Just like that. There, in front of everyone.
I told you Dad got diagnosed with early onset dementia and you sent a fruit basket!
And before we continue, as much as it is understandable, where does this anger come from? On the other hand, I've talked about this before, every time you approach a problem with anger, frustration, yelling, accusing, you make it about your behavior rather than why are you upset. You're not doing any service for yourself, like zero. Apart from releasing the emotion, which maybe it's better to just scream in a pillow. Simone, though, instead of acknowledging Devon's pain, which again, understandably she can't because Devon is literally attacking her, she is more worried about freaking appearances, okay? She's more worried about how Devon is making a scene right now. And Simone apparently became all about appearances because who Devon is looking right now, that's not the person Devon knows. What's up with a preppy floral dress and a light purple handband in her hair? Did she just walk through a rainbow?
Who are you?
The more she's looking at Simone, the more she's like, wait. Hold the horse. I have no idea if that's an expression. What happened with Simone's face? Did she do a freaking nose job? So you're telling me that you went under general anesthesia without even letting me know, when we all know that it can be life-threatening?
Where are your tattoos? I removed them.
Devon grabs Simone's hands and she can't believe it. Their matching sister tattoo? She removed that also? Simone pulls her hand back and yes, the tattoos were trashy.
It was trashy.
She learns that Simone is actually working at the Cliff House, and the way Simone's eyes sparkle when she mentions Michaela, her boss, well, it's not something Devon feels comfortable with.
I get to call her Kiki, which is it's a really special honor.
Devon is shooked because the way Simone is acting, she put on a new persona. And not only that, she is ashamed of everything she was. Everything Devon is. Because the way she's trying to hush Devon, oh, don't make yourself visible, while being all fake smiley to these strangers because they're rich, is something she would never expect from her little sister.
Hey, girlies, hi, just go on back.
Yeah.
Devon, you have to go.
Seeing Simone, how she totally changed and how she's almost like ashamed and rejecting Devon, also reminds you of how sometimes when you give yourself up for someone else, how much it hurts when this person then turns around, looks at you, and they're like, yeah, I also don't want you. You've been in a relationship where the dynamic was you needing to put this other person first and their needs first for them to be happy, and then maybe you will get some sense of love. And then as time passes, suddenly they're breaking up with you because, you know what, I think you are too codependent, or I don't think you're actually the person that I want to be with. And you're looking around and you're like, am I being pranked? Is it? I don't want to be this person. You made me this person. Not only did you betray yourself for this person, but now this person is also betraying you for what you become because of them. Then, of course, I think if you've been with me for some time, you know that even though another person is influencing you and impacting you, there are a lot of times our own beliefs that keep us stuck in that situation or that make us change and so on. So it's not just like, oh, it's their problem. Now, all of this is very emotional for Devon.
Simone, I just traveled 17 hours to see you.
And all Simone has to say is, I don't have time for you.
I don't have time for you. I don't have time for you today.
I don't know why I didn't think of that.
And sure, yes, Simone is right. Maybe Devon should call before, but she has been trying to reach her for the last couple of months and she doesn't get any reply. Oh, I'm sure Simone would answer if Devon would be calling her this time, right? And that's the thing. She reached a point where she doesn't care if Simone has the time or doesn't have the time. She will make the time.
Make time.
And if the only way Simone would actually acknowledge her is if she threatens to join the preppy girlies with her messiness, then that's exactly what she will do.
Otherwise, I'm gonna be having sips and nibbles with all the rest of those Barbies.
For Devon, that almost becomes the only source of power, her trashiness, and how she's gonna make a scene with it. She's gonna get attention with it, which will make Simone give her time or give her some love. Is a way of saying, if you're not gonna give me love, then I'm gonna get your attention. That's where we see how problematic children, problematic based on the society and blah, 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 often are doing certain things because they're trying to get attention because they feel a lack of love.
You wouldn't.
Okay, fine.
And it works. Simone finds a solution because, God forbid, someone would see her trashy sister, right? Now, is Devon happy that she will have to wait in the guest house while Simone is having tea time with the girlies? No, but it's at least something. Simone takes Devon to the guest house, and as they're walking through the property, Devon is shooked. All of this is theirs. Feels like a mini city here. Well, yes, Devi, it's owned by Peter Kell. You know, the Kell Securities. It's the biggest hedge fund, worth billions. Devon knows the type. Asshole. No, not to Simone. Peter and Kiki are super nice. Michaela was actually once a powerhouse attorney, and now she's volunteering for activism and preservatism. Yeah, that's right. Devon is not impressed. And with all the names she's calling them,
Or, sorry, I have rich people Tourette's.
they enter the guest house and Devon needs to behave, okay? Don't touch anything. Don't sit on the couch. Don't talk to anyone. And just, try to blend in the wall. She can make herself a drink though.
I don't drink. I've been trying to be sober for the past 6 months.
Simone is taken aback. Is that why Devon has been texting her Sirens? Their SOS code? Well, it's not much of an SOS if you don't reply, right? That has been getting worse. He keeps on asking about mom. Devon drives him to all of his appointments. She picks up medication. Simone interrupts her now. She can send money.
I don't want money, Simone. I need help with Dad.
I don't do that.
Well, it's not only one daughter, right? There are 2 daughters. It's not only Devon's responsibility. Are they just gonna leave him like that?
I've been losing my mind trying to do all of this by myself.
Now, when it comes to Devon's perspective, an interesting topic or an insight is, why is she not accepting Simone's money? Why does she say no immediately? I even saw in some of the comments, pointing that out. The fact that Devon rejected Simone's way of help, right? Maybe Simone can't physically help, but she's trying to help in another way. That's also fucked up. But if we look from Devon's perspective, Simone is trying to solve an emotional problem with a practical solution. For Devon, her experience made sure that her currency is the physical act of showing up. I'm giving myself for whatever you need. Her mom left, right? So the question is, what kind of relationship she has with her mom? She never really mentions it, but we do see how much she is forgiving of her dad. And it's almost like, yeah, but the dad at least stayed, right? He didn't leave. So presence means love in some way. Physical presence became her proof that she cares. So when Simone offers convenience, it doesn't feel like love or care. It actually feels as a cheap help that in reality is a rejection because you're inconvenienced to me right now. Okay, so I'm just gonna give you some money. So sure. It is sad that someone developed this sense of needing to give themselves so much just to get some sense of love, and recognizing that they never experienced being loved for just who they are. And when Simone says, it's not my problem, that's another hit to Devon, because she never had that leverage of ever saying, well, you know what? It's not my problem that dad neglected you and you ended up in foster care. And that's where they clash. They clash because they're just 2 people with different sets of beliefs and experiences, and they're coping in the best way they know how. Devon experienced how important it is to put other people first. Otherwise, bad shit happens. While for Simone, it was the opposite.
Simone? Who's this?
As Simone and Devon are trying to not understand each other, they get interrupted. And it is time for Devon to meet the Michaela Kell. Now, Michaela is the embodiment of rich and zen. She has a white flowy dress, red long hair, and there's this softness about her that only money or medication can buy. Hi, Kiki. This is my sister. She just appeared unannounced.
Hi, I'm Michaela Kell.
Devon is trying to be nice. Quite a house you have here. Quite a sister you have here. Not much resemblance though, is there? Devon is trying to understand what just happened. Was she just shaded by this old woman? But before she can react, Simone is already interrupting.
No.
No. There is no resemblance between the 2 of them. Devon is more like her dad, while Simone is more like their mom. Now, Devon doesn't know which way to go now. First, Michaela insults her, I guess, in some way, and now Simone is hopping on that train? Well, two can play that game.
You did. Before you fucked with your nose.
If I'm being judged by where I come from, well, I mean, why aren't you judged for the fact that you're trying to hide that part? She turns to Michaela and she has some words for her. Next time, one of her guys has the idea to put Simone under general anesthesia, they should let Devon know.
People die under general anesthesia.
Michaela struggles with seeing the logic. You see, she didn't know that Devon existed. Well, now you do. Simone starts to bring the tension down. Or better, her tension is rising up because she starts laughing nervously, anxiously, and the way she's acting, her sister, Devon, knows there's something about this boss that is fishy. Why is her sister so anxious?
It's crazy.
And the way Michaela is gushing over Simone and Simone gushing back, talking about how they're besties.
Yeah, instant besties. It's like a total mind
To Devon, this does not seem normal. You're trying to tell me that you are besties with your boss? Totally normal.
I can't usually be friends with people who pay me.
Okay.
Michaela now reminds Simone that it is time to join with the girlies. You know, they're waiting at this event, but Devon can stay there and make herself at home. Simone, though, interrupts. No. Devon is not staying here, okay? Devon is confused. Wow. I mean, Simone, can you be any more faster in trying to get rid of me? Okay, she's not gonna stay in the guest house, I guess. She'll just stay wherever Simone is staying. Simone turns to her sister and she's like, I'm staying in the main house, okay? I have my own suite.
You live at work?
This is some employee toxic shit she can't even grasp her head around.
Looks like I will be staying.
So again, Devon is hit left and right with how unwelcome she is. Even Simone, when she introduces her to Michaela, she introduces her as the problem. Devon is the problem, the inconvenience that I need to deal with. While on the other hand, Michaela is someone who Simone just gushes about. She's prioritizing strangers over Devon. And that hurts. It almost threatens, what did Devon's sacrifice mean? What was it for? If now someone just passes by, dingles a little bit of money, and Simone has this crazy connection and they are like, mind merge. It is really, really hurtful. The interesting thing though, is that she turns to Michaela and almost like attacks Michaela for the surgery.
The next time one of your guys is gonna do plastic surgery on my sister, maybe let me know.
And you can see how the protective part of Devon comes out. For Devon, by default, Simone is the victim. Simone is the one who is helpless because that's the dynamic they built or she grew up with. Her whole worth is based on that. Devon is left in the guest house and she's trying to process everything that she just saw because it was something. But before she even gets to do that, Ray is calling.
Hey, Ray.
Where the hell are you?
Devon was supposed to be working right now. It's her shift and she didn't show up. Does she understand that if she does that, he needs to fire her? What does she mean she just had to deal with something and she's not gonna come to work? Hello? Any sense of responsibility here? Devon is like, oh my God, this man. Sure, Ray, sure. Are you gonna fire me? What about if I just call your wife and tell her how sometimes you're my F-boy? Would that work? First of all, it's hurtful to call him an F-boy, okay? He thought they have something deeper. And second of all, she doesn't have to worry. It's all good. And while she has him on the phone, she actually has some requests for him, okay? Her dad is at home, alone. He needs some meds. He needs the dinner. And don't even try to say how you're not going to go and take care of my dad because, again, I do know your wife's number. So,
All right, tell your dad I'll be there before dinner.
So in this scene, you start to kind of try to understand Devon a little bit better because up to this point, you understood where is she coming from, how is she being treated, and so on, right? And you have this idea of her being the one who puts other people first, sacrifices, this and that. But then her exchange with Ray and how she's neglecting this work makes you a little bit confused. You're like, Wait. In this very moment, she is not acting very much responsible. Not only not acting responsible towards her work, but she is actually quite evil.
I'll call your wife.
She's threatening, she's going to expose the cheating, the affair, not as in, you know what, I don't think this is good, I have my conscience, whatever would someone say, let's say, I don't really get it. But more so as, if you're not going to do this for me, then I'm going to tell her. Okay, I'm going to tell her. And the only way I can understand this is that Devon right now is in a state where she has been rejected left and right. And there is two ways of how this then manifests. The first thing is admitting that she is in the wrong right now when it comes to Ray and work and so on, would be almost like accepting or getting another layer of how much of a screw up she is, how much of a failure she is. And she's not going to do that, right? Your mind is not going to allow you to do that because you're already fighting to be seen as worthy despite where you come from. She needs to have a sense of power in this moment. And Ray, in a sense, is an easy target. And here's the thing, as much as we are judging cheating, if we try to understand her relationship with Ray, we can see that it's basically a manifestation, I guess, of the internalized belief about herself that she has. Devon chooses Ray, someone who is married and for who she is the I'm going to use a very bad word, side piece, or like second option, hidden, secretive, because it confirms her worst belief about herself, that she is only used. She doesn't matter. No one really cares about her. No one really loves her unless they can get something from her. But because there is this level of anger to be treated that way, or for that to be her belief, it's almost like she needs to weaponize it in some way. It's like saying, well, if that's what you expect me to be, and that's all I'm worth for you, then I'm going to use that. For example, if we take that you are someone who is afraid of intimacy because you're afraid of getting hurt. But then instead of healing that, you pick or you always get into relationships with people who are avoidant, who don't give you that intimacy, so you can get mad at them for not giving you what you need. If you would heal that part, if you would feel comfortable with being intimate, when you meet someone who is not comfortable with being intimate, that feels weird. By intimacy, I mean vulnerability. Then it wouldn't be difficult for you to say, you know what, good for you, you do you, but I know what I want, I'm comfortable with it, and I'm not even gonna engage in this. So even with Devon, she chooses Ray because Ray is a guarantee that she will be hurt in some way, because that's what she believes, that people who use her or who are close to her will hurt her, right? Be it her mother that left her behind, be it dad that made her quit or needed to become an adult when she was a child, or now Simone, who doesn't even return her calls for help. And the driving thing of it all at the end of the day is just a desperate need to have some kind of sense of control over your life. Devon is getting bored in the guest house and she wants to take a smoke. And the problem is she can't even exit this freaking place without a freaking digital assistant allowing her.
Yeah, I'm trying to go outside.
Here, try now.
And the way Zeus, the digital assistant, knows that she's gonna go for a smoke, it is clear that there are cameras everywhere. And newsflash, you can't smoke on the property. Devon is annoyed. But when you need a smoke, you do what you gotta do. She manages to get out. She walks as far away from the house as she possibly can. In the woods, no one can tell her that she cannot do something here, right? This is nature, okay? This is public to everyone.
There's no smoking on the property.
This is a protected wildlife sanctuary and smoking is illegal. Devon is losing it because for the love of God, can she just get a little bit of break, okay? She just ran through hell. She's still going through hell. And now she can't even take that little, that little inhale. Luckily though, they bond over sports because that's how you do in the lower classes, right? And what they have in common is hating the third squad. That's all I know about what they talked, okay? It is not my thing. And this gives Devon the permission to go with Jose to a place where she is safe. A little shed hidden somewhere on the property with no cameras and a bunch of staff stuffing their mouth with carbs.
Carbs aren't allowed on the property ahead of the gala Monday.
Who banned carbs, Michaela?
The thing is, though, as much as maybe Devon is trying to bond over a mutual hatred against Michaela, the staff has NDA signed. No talking about the boss. Honestly, they're not really comfortable Devon being there because Devon is Simone's sisters, the little Michaela. But not to worry, Jose vetted her, okay? She cool, she can stay, she will not rat us out. The staff has to go back to work, but before they leave, a woman approaches Devon.
Be careful here, sis.
And walks away. Now you tell me you wouldn't be freaking out if someone told you that. Cameras everywhere, everything a little bit too preppy and perfect and zen and, rich. Her sister acting like she's possessed by a Barbie and now she gets a warning. And you know how it is when you spot something sus? Oh, you spot everything that feeds into that sus. Because what might have looked to Devon a little bit suspicious, a little bit rich people stuff, and I don't like it, right now it's looking like we're about to be sacrificed. That's how paranoia works, right? From Devon's perspective, she's looking at the situation and what she sees is her little sister acting all weird, thinking that she's happy and free and yada-da, but everywhere she looks, there's control, there is surveillance, there is no sense of freedom. And yes, she might be coming from lower class, she might be coming from a messy life, but at least she is free, right? No one dictates her what she can do and cannot do. We all have freedom of choice. Always, right? It's interesting to see how Devon doesn't recognize that she herself doesn't really have a freedom of choice through her whole life in some way. I mean, she does have freedom of choice, but also not really. Like, are you going to be an asshole and let your family die? Like, probably not. But instead of seeing also that as a prison, she looks at a wealthy property where there are cameras and rules, and that's a prison. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? If we would look at it objectively, this is a huge property. These are extremely wealthy people, and clearly they have security. The smart house, the digital Zeus or whatever, it's not so much about controlling who can go out and who can go in. It's about convenience. I don't need to move a muscle. I just tell this digital thingy to do its thing and it will do. Again, prioritizing comfort and time. That's the interesting thing when we have certain beliefs or, we are connecting things. And I do this 100%, right? I'm like very good at spotting things. But sometimes I also need to step back and say, wait, am I spotting things because these things also align with my beliefs? Or am I really spotting things? And I'm going to tell you, 9 out of 10, I am spotting freaking things. On the other hand, Devon seems to now have the first genuine interaction in some way. The first sense of environment or people that she gets and they get her and they accept her. Like it's this sense of belonging, right? Bonding over sports could also be something that it's like very typical in working class, right? Who do you cheer for? What did you watch the game? This and that, right? And how do the wealthy talk? I have no idea. I'll let you know when I get there. But then another layer to it all is also how they bond over mutual hatred against a third team, right? And this is almost like saying, you know what? Hating a third person together is much more real than being polite in a fake way, which she feels is happening between Simone and Michaela. I don't know. It's an interesting thing to maybe, discuss over weed. Now, saying that, it also hints, to me at least, at how sometimes when we feel out of place, we seek comfortable places. Wow, what a sentence. Places where we feel good, when it feels familiar, not realizing that sometimes those very places or those very people feed into your perspectives that might not be really good. Let's say you don't feel as successful in life in whatever arena, in whatever way. So instead of working on that and trying to figure that out, you start hanging out with people who are in the same boat and don't do anything about it. So you kind of bond with them over the fact that, okay, this is comfortable. I don't feel out of place. I don't feel challenged and so on. But at the same time, you're not really helping each other because like you're just feeding into not reaching that you maybe want to reach. Or for example, if you go to a party and you don't really know anyone and you're alone and you don't really know how to handle it, and you end up texting your ex, right? Or texting someone that is not really good for you because you're seeking that comfort and that familiarity. And this is what could be happening with Devon. She already doesn't like Michaela. She already, in general, doesn't like the wealth and the comfort that it brings with because she herself never experienced it and values sacrifice as worthy or struggle as worthy. Now meeting people who also kind of feed into that in the same way. I mean, what else is she supposed to think than the fact that this is a dangerous place, Michaela is a dangerous woman, and she needs to get Simone out somehow. This, the power of perspective is real. She decides to go back to the main house. She needs to find Simone, but as she is approaching the entrance, a guy tosses her keys. And she's like, What the F are you doing?
I'm not the valet.
Oh, sorry. You're kind of dressed like that. Oh my God, Devon can't believe it. This middle-aged man in a blazer with duckies thinks I'm a valet just because I don't look like him. I don't look like an Easter egg. Devon passes him, but it seems that he's not reading the hint, leave me alone, because now he wants to escort her to the kitchen. Oh, wait. So you're not a waitress?
You're wearing all black and you've got a whimsical hairstyle.
Devon is looking at him like, what the baboon is going on here? No, she is not working here. She's actually visiting her sister Simone. The middle-aged man seems to be taken aback. Simone? Oh, she never mentioned she has a sister. And, they talk.
She should have. I basically raised her in Buffalo.
The man is now even more confused. Buffalo, New York? Okay, that's where Devon grew up. Simone was in and out of foster care until Devon got custody over her. But wait.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Ethan.
Ethan Corbin III, if we're going all in.
Maybe Simone mentioned him ever?
No.
He offers to escort Devon inside, but, she's not having it. So they are just awkwardly walking next to one another while entering the place. And the place is magnificent. The sunlight shining through the big windows, piano playing in the background. The smell of wealth in the air. The usual place you fantasize about when you will finally make it big. So again, Devon is hit with another judgment simply because of the way she looks. And it's again this message of you don't belong here unless you can serve us. And when it comes to her exchange with Ethan, it could be seen in a couple of ways, especially how she just tells everything about Simone. The first thing is that the girlie is not about small talk, and this is just a typical expression that someone has when they're not really hiding anything. Where for Devon, it's not about, oh, I shouldn't tell anything about Simone because, we don't trust these people. It's more about, I'm just telling how it is, period. There's no intent behind it. Could it also be, again, a class thing where maybe lower classes are very comfortable with sharing everything about them, but the upper classes are more like hush hush, keep it to yourself. Do not tell me you haven't watched the videos on, the whole fashion style is like quiet luxury, wealth whispers. And unfortunately, when you are someone who, doesn't have anything to hide and is very open with who they are, in places where appearances are everything, in places where status is everything, that won't turn great, right? And we saw in the Simone's video how it didn't turn out great. On the other hand, it could also be a rebellion against how she is judged. How where she comes from is judged, is problematic, is like, let's hide it, let's not see it. So it's almost like she needs to prove herself to this person who just thought that she's part of the staff just because of the way she looks, as someone who is worthy, as someone who did great things in life. That's why she explains how she got Simone out of custody. It could be seen as, she's just blabbing, but on the other hand, it's almost like saying, I'm very like, I'm the shit, man. She narrates her whole sacrifice because, again, for Devon, that is worth. And it can also hint at how Devon potentially is not able to assert herself in some way, her worthiness, without telling what she has done for others. So that's why she tells it, she uses it, even in the most subtle ways. Now, when Ethan and Devon are entering the house, Simone actually noticed them. So she runs up and she's like, wow, so you two met?
He thought I was the valet.
Ethan excuses himself and Devon wastes no time to tell Simone how much she hates it here. She hates everything. And okay, Simone, calm down. I understand this is your workplace. But at the same time, I did not come here to wait in a freaking guest room until you have some time for me. At least she can see what this place is all about, right? Not to worry, she's gonna blend in, okay?
It's fine. I'll be cool.
She goes in the corner and she's observing the peeps. But what the fuck is happening? Because Michaela is using some freaking shtick with a bird head on it, like a freaking cult leader, summoning everyone to listen to her. And if that is weird, what about the fact that every freaking person is repeating after her? Is this normal? Am I supposed to react to this normally? What in the discovering a new freaking cult is happening here? She approaches Simone, but when she looks at her, this bitch is repeating herself. Eyes closed and everything.
Hey. Okay, this is officially a cult.
And instead of Simone acknowledging what Devon is saying, her little sister now gets mad, pulls Devon aside, and attacks her about why did she tell this middle-aged man about Simone being in foster care. First of all, how the F was Devon supposed to know that it is a secret? And second of all, why is it a secret? Since when do they need to be careful about what rich douchebags think about them?
He's my boyfriend.
Devon starts laughing like, okay, you don't need to be mean, Simone, okay? He's like 400 years old. He's not your boyfriend. Yeah, it's not really a joke. Simone is serious and she really likes him. Devon is confused. Like, are you really trying to convince me that you like this man and not the Rolex on his wrist? And also, is this what this was all about? You trying to be a freaking trophy wife? Is that why you've been ignoring your freaking family? What? No, that's not the point. These are her friends.
These people are my friends. Oh, grow up, Simone. You're the help.
So in this moment, Devon's whole thing is, why do you need to be embarrassed and shamed or hide? Where do we come from and what we overcame? Because for Devon, that is the strength, the worth, the value, right? That gives us character. That gives us experience, that gives us real life. Don't be ashamed of it. Don't let these people who only think about money and how they look like in their colorful colors take that away from you. That's Devon's perspective. And we as viewers, we kind of agree with her. We're looking at this situation and we do really side with Devon. Why are you trying to be a fake just because of wealth? In some ways, we do want to call out the fake. We do want to call out the privilege, right? Put it in its place type of thing. And that's all real, right? But sometimes it can also cloud the boundaries that we should still have with other people and how they approach seeing this whole situation. In this case, Simone. Devon cannot just dismiss what Simone is experiencing, or we cannot just dismiss how Devon is acting towards Simone, which is not okay, just because we also root for authenticity and realness. The truth also is, and we went through it in the Simone's video, that Devon is violating Simone's privacy, her autonomy. But we root for Devon, that's the first instinct in some way, because we like her values better. And it's almost like the show is asking you this question: when does our commitment or need, believe to keep it real, become just another way of control? Despite Devon's values being something that we relate to more and we want to see more, right? Authenticity, don't be ashamed of your past, accept yourself, accept your past, and so on. We still need to recognize that she is taking control over how Simone is living this same situation. And that's the problem. Now, when she's dismissing her relationship with Ethan, that she's just, blinded by the wealth and so on, that's literally what she sees. She sees her young 20-something-old sister who went through shit in life, and now she thinks she's in love in this middle-aged man who is just another almost like lifeline for her to have a better life rather than actual love and authenticity. So it's almost like she wants her to snap out of it. Also snap out of it of thinking that these people actually care about her, that there is a genuine connection. Because for Devon, she can't really grasp that, right? She sees that people who have staff don't really have any care for that staff, right? You're the help is almost like saying they don't care about you. And it could also be the truth. Now, in this moment, from Devon's perspective, if we also bring the Greek mythology, we can see her as Cassandra, the one who can see what's going on, the one who can see the future in some way, right? But no one believes her. No one sides with her. Michaela could be a representation of the Sirens song that calls Simone to the doom, and that Siren song is the wealth and prestige and escape. Devon is playing the role of almost Cassandra. I see where this is going, but no one is actually hearing me. Now, again, the interesting plot is if we say that the Sirens by Greek mythology were also villainized and they didn't lure sailors to their doom, but sailors' lust brought them to their own doom. Is Devon villainizing Michaela because she cannot accept that Simone's own desire to have this lifestyle is making her be here and doing all these things, being fake? So what happens? Because Devon is acting in this way, because she is dismissing, controlling, and so on, even though from her perspective, it's all about you don't see what I see and this is dangerous and I need to protect you, she pushes Simone further from herself. You see, when she yells, "You're the help," it almost seems like that's where it cracks.
Don't move.
She turns around, she goes to the crowd, she finds Michaela, and Devon is there standing observing. She's whispering something to her. And now, Michaela is now approaching her with her zen self and smiley. "Hey, Devon."
Let's you and me take a walk.
With everything she learned about Michaela, with all these cultish, freakish vibes, taking a walk with her on a freaking cliff is not something that feels good.
I love to stand here and look out.
Michaela talking about sailors who crashed on the cliff and blood and how the whales are still stinging more. No, she does not need to hear all this shit right now. She wants to see where Simone is. And luckily, Simone is right there with a little envelope. She hands it to Michaela, and Michaela hands it to Devon. "Here, this is for you." Devon opens the envelope and what? Money? What? she is giving her money, $10,000, it should help with her dad. It's very difficult to take care of aging parents.
No, Michaela, not okay.
Also, they booked her a room down by the port. She can stay the night there, have a nice rest, and then she'll have a ticket back home the next day. Devon cannot believe what is happening. She is literally being paid off to disappear, to walk away by freaking Michaela, while Simone is standing there not even looking at her.
Are you kicking me out? Is that...
Well, it's such a busy weekend, so.
Hi, Jose. Could you please escort Devon? Devon is like, where the fuck did he pop from now?
Hello? Simone!
Safe home.
While Simone doesn't even look at her sister. So this scene is very uncomfortable because we are literally watching someone who is struggling, desperate for help, someone who sacrificed her whole life for her sister in this case, now being tossed aside or dismissed in the way she hates most, with money. Like, she is inconvenient. Like, they want her away. Simone wants her to disappear. And remember, presence, being there, it's what Devon associates with love. So Simone not wanting her there, it's very hard to accept. And that's why it's so much easier to look at the situation and see that Michaela has something to do with it, to believe that Michaela has something to do with it, that this is not real, like Simone is not really acting the way she wants to act, because it's difficult to accept that someone would actually do that. That someone would prioritize their own fake identity over family, or that someone would use someone else to handle their problems. In this case, Simone using Michaela to handle Devon. It is so difficult to see that as understanding that the normal conclusion is this is wrong. Something is fishy. Devon needs to get her shit together and get her sister out. Then if you watch my video on Simone, there is more than what meets the eye. And if you haven't watched it, well, maybe this is now a great opportunity to go through that part and see everything from Simone's perspective. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think about this whole situation? Are you team Devon? Are you team Simone? And are you becoming team Michaela, which we will evaluate later on? If you found the video valuable, give it a like, share, it helps the channel, subscribe if you haven't yet, and let's bring more people into this analytical sphere. And remember, trust your individuality and connect authentically.